Straight ahead on 12 News, the hometown team includes a home run swing for a local suburb.
Whose territory is New Hope, too?
Then, frustration mounts over a proposed power line through Plymouth.
The utilities continue to pursue divisive and destructive solutions.
But first, a break in a murder case tied to Brooklyn Park. 12 News starts right now. There are new details tonight concerning a murder case that investigators say is connected to Brooklyn Park.
Authorities have arrested a man they think is responsible for killing an 18-year-old St. Paul woman. Police say her body was stuffed in the trunk of a car at a Brooklyn Park apartment complex. Reporter Shannon Slotton is live at the Anoka County Sheriff's Office with more on the arrest. Shannon?
It took 2 weeks for several law enforcement agencies to piece together exactly what happened to 18-year-old Brittany Clardy before her body was found in a car. Clardy was from St. Paul, and she'd been missing for 10 days before her body was discovered in the passenger seat of a car in a Columbia Heights impound lot. Police say Alberto Palmer is the man responsible for her death. He's in jail here in Anoka County. He is 23 years old, and law enforcement tracked him down in Woodbury, where he was staying with family. Palmer spent time in Georgia, where he is also wanted on several charges. But for several months, Palmer lived with family in Woodbury and in Brooklyn Park. Investigators believe the crime happened in the 8400 block of Brooklyn Park in a home there. Clardy met up with Palmer at a house there. Investigators discovered the two met, though, on a website called Backpage.com.
From all outside appearances, appeared to be a normal 18-year-old girl, lived a good life, lived with a good family in St. Paul. As this case began to unravel, though, it became apparent that Brittany had followed a path in life that led her to prostitution.
It is not clear how long Clardy was engaged in prostitution, and investigators aren't releasing the cause of her actual death. However, they do say that Palmer will face charges here in Anoka County before facing any charges out of Georgia. Live in Anoka County, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
All right, thanks, Shannon. Nothing gets a neighborhood worked up quite like a proposed power line project.
In this case, XL and Great River Energy are proposing to remove existing power lines and replace them with higher voltage lines from Medina to Northwest Plymouth. The 9-mile project has residents speaking out.
Approximately 50% of the line would run directly through densely populated neighborhoods.
One by one, they came to speak, and these residents came prepared.
I've looked over the maps and even gone door to door to measure how close these homes would be to the new high voltage power line. Concern
after concern was brought forth to a public hearing held by the State Public Utilities Commission on XL Energy's proposed 115 kilovolt power line.
Utilities continue to pursue divisive and destructive solutions.
Now, after 20 years, the proposed 115 kV line is like a kick in the gut that would decrease the property values we have all worked so hard to maintain.
Property values, loss of trees, and construction through wetlands were just some of the concerns. For Tom Kubinski, it was what a high voltage line several feet from his home may do to his health.
Health concerns are my number one. For now, I am in my 3rd year of stage 4 throat cancer survival.
XL Energy says it needs the transmission line upgrade to maintain service to customers. But these customers say there's a better way, pointing out that underground lines are a viable alternative, as addressed in XL Energy's application to the state.
We strongly believe that the power companies have failed to demonstrate the need for a new high voltage transmission line to serve western Plymouth and Medina.
Whatever gets decided, Tom Kubinski just hopes public utility regulators take their comments to heart.
But what if it were you, your wife, your husband, the children, and your home who was having this happen to?
There are many hearings and steps still to come on the so-called Hollydale project. A representative from the Public Utilities Commission, Michael Kaluzniak, says utility companies must show there's not a more reasonable alternative before the project can move forward.
Is there a skills gap in Minnesota's workforce? A new state study finds 15% of job vacancies in 9 key occupations were difficult to fill because of a shortage of qualified candidates. Gaps were found with employers who hired machine operators and industrial engineering technicians. Some employers said the inability to fill positions kept them from expanding.
A Brooklyn Park soldier who served in Iraq is getting a big thank you at his home. Thanks to a $5,000 grant from the Home Depot Foundation, Staff Sergeant Brian Martin and his wife will soon have a new bathroom. Crews from Home Depot and members of the Red Bulls based out of Brooklyn Park went to work today installing a new vanity, flooring, and tub surround.
Lets us know that what we did was appreciated. And just the fact that the community is coming out and helping with stuff that we've got around the house means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to some other veterans.
The Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Committee of Brooklyn Park wrote the grant request for the project.
Spring break is right around the corner for many college students, but doctors warn students visiting foreign countries should first make a trip to their local clinic. The Centers for Disease Control lists hepatitis A, hepatitis B, typhoid, rabies, and malaria among the list of diseases that people could contract in places like Mexico without proper vaccinations or medication. Physicians at the HCMC clinic in Brooklyn Center say the sooner spring breakers visit the doctor's office, the better.
A lot of the vaccinations take a little while to take effect. In fact, even if you're planning travel into the future, as much as 6 months ahead of time is really advisable because some of the medications have multiple shots.
For a full list of places where vaccinations are recommended, you can visit cdc.gov. It's not spring yet, but many sports fans are already thinking baseball.
As Sonia Goins shows us, residents in New Hope have a special reason to be excited about the upcoming Twins season.
Hey guys, it may not look like it now, but we're less than a month away from the Twins home opener. And although the team hasn't taken the field yet, they're already scoring a home run with fans from New Hope.
In Twins territory, we're good and ready for sunny days.
New Hope is Twins territory, and this new ad proves it.
Let's get back where we belong. Here come the boys of summer. Welcome to 2013.
It is hope. Hope springs eternal, and it does in baseball. And what better sign of that than to shoot the new Hope water tower?
The city's water tower is just one of many that is featured in a new Twins commercial.
Twins territory is New Hope, too, and we want them to come down to games and cheer us on as well.
The message is simple. Hit a home run with people in the big city and the suburbs as well.
I got the last few minutes of it. I got to see our tower in the ad, and that was fantastic.
I thought it was pretty neat. The city of New Hope was actually in a Twins commercial.
I think it's great for the city, and it seems like it's kind of a small town, so some great recognition for them.
It was a little surprising. I've always expected to see Minneapolis or St. Paul, just because that's our capital and our major hub city, so usually those are a little bit more prominent in advertising.
Over at Jet's Pizza in New Hope,
it's always better for our business, especially when they're doing good.
They're hoping the ad delivers some recognition.
For the city, it gets them known on the map. Not a lot of people actually know where New Hope is, which is kind of sad. We have our own water tower, everybody.
Here come the boys of summer.
Already the commercial is bringing a sense of pride to New Hope.
I'd say lots of Twins pride. See lots of Twins stickers, banners. When it warms up here pretty soon, we'll see more jerseys out there.
Fans are hopeful the hometown team will bring them pride too.
Every year you always have to be optimistic. You're always going to get some new players in there and new blood.
So do you have Twin spirit?
I do. How about you?
Well, the Twins also have a photo contest where fans can take a picture of themselves from their hometown or Target Field and win prizes. Twins home opener is April 1st. As always, new hope for a new season.
New season, that's right.
Coming up, stepping up, pitching in, and getting involved. We hear from a standout student who isn't afraid to try it all.
And later in sports, highlights from 3 key girls basketball playoff games.
But first, it is your AccuWeather forecast.
Helpful, humble, and versatile. That's how peers and teachers describe this week's standout student.
West Lutheran senior Caitlin Kester tells our Renee Bonneau how staying busy is getting her ready for life after high school.
In the West Lutheran band room, Caitlin Kester is quite comfortable on a piano bench.
I've played piano since I was in 3rd grade.
But she doesn't stay in one place for long.
They said, oh, you can learn an instrument, but start off in percussion.
but I just stayed in percussion.
Just as she takes on many tasks in here, Caitlin is equally as busy in the classroom and beyond.
Some of my harder classes would probably be PSEO Calculus, and I took PSEO World History. I'm taking AP Literature.
She's also class president, as well as president of National Honor Society.
You just have to learn how to manage all your time, and you need to set aside time for everything, and you definitely can't procrastinate.
I think she's a teacher's dream and she's a classmate's dream.
Her teacher Nathan Veach says besides her good grades, her thirst for knowledge and desire to get involved are admirable.
Her humility just reflects around her. She's like so unassuming, and yet she is willing to raise her hand, participate, go that extra mile.
Caitlin says this attitude can only help her in the future.
I think it'll help me be more open to trying new things in college, because I'm sure there's many more opportunities because I go to a very small high school. There's not many things to do, but maybe in college I'll be more open to trying different things and learning new things.
In Plymouth, Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
Caitlin hasn't decided where she wants to go to college yet, but she says she does want to be a physical therapist.
Well, coming up, Patriotic Pride today at Brooklyn Junior High School.
But first in sports, a former Wayzata hockey player is in the state tournament as an assistant coach for his alma mater. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
Well, this is pretty cool. First, you get a chance to play hockey for your high school team, and then years later, you get a chance to coach that team in the state tournament. That's a neat deal. Only thing better would be winning.
That's right. Well, they'll have to put together 3 good nights of hockey to do that, but a fun day for this Osseo, or Wayzata hockey staff, I should say. Wayzata Trojans hit the ice Thursday night for their 3rd ever state hockey tournament. For one of the Trojans' assistant coaches, it is a special thing. Mark Sorensen played hockey for Wayzata in the late 1990s, and although he was on some pretty good teams, never got a chance to play in the state tournament. He's number 15, scoring versus Richfield in this vintage Channel 12 video. Sorensen works as Wayzata's defenseman, and he says making the tournament as a coach at the school you played for does make it even better.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, you know, our guys are going to live out a dream that a lot of former players had wanted to live through and just didn't get the opportunity. So, you know, I think, you know, it was very rewarding for me to stand back and watch our guys celebrate down at Mariucci and know that they're going to go through just an amazing and a unique experience, really. So I'm very excited for them.
Wayzata meets Centennial in the AA quarterfinals Thursday night. We'll have a story on Trojans head coach Pat O'Leary, an Armstrong High School grad, Monday on our Sports Jam show. The Park Center boys basketball team is set for postseason play after a championship regular season. The Pirates won the Northwest Suburban Conference title and didn't have to share it with Osseo after the Orioles were upset by Elk River in the last week of the season. It's a good feeling to be a conference champ.
We definitely didn't want to share it, but we knew that we might have to, but getting it to ourselves is really exciting and a lot of fun.
The Pirates earned the #1 seed for the tough Section 5 4A tournament, and the open play against Coon Rapids tonight, Thursday. An early exit last season has them motivated to succeed.
Yeah, we just talk about not wanting to feel the same way we felt after we lost last year.
It comes up all the time, just having that feeling that we felt last year and from previous years. We really want to get past this first round, get this first win, and from there on, it's just one game at a time.
The girls' basketball playoffs continued Wednesday night, including a section final for Hopkins in Section 6 4A. The Royals meeting Minnetonka, and they go up early. Taylor Anderson to McCalla Shackelford for the layup, and it's 6-0 Royals. Nia Coffey does a little bit of everything. She drives and sets up Aaron O'Toole for the layup for a 12-3 lead. Hopkins leads at 30-21 at halftime. And they put this one away early. Coffey sets up Anderson for the layup. Anderson and Coffey each score 14 to lead the Royals. They go on a 12-0 run to start the second half. Watch Coffey swat away the three-pointer here. Hopkins easily beats Minnetonka 65-35 to advance to the state tournament. Osseo's girls basketball team is looking to get back to the state tourney after finishing as runner-up a year ago. The Orioles met Centennial in the Section 5 4A semifinals. Phyllis Webb passes to Io Port, who scores the Orioles' first bucket of the game. Destiny Morris drives and scores for the Cougars to put her team up by 4. Port is having a big section tournament. She puts the ball on the floor, muscles in, and scores 2 here. Orioles are up by 2, 17-15. But Centennial closes strong in the first half. Paige Wojtaszek cans the three-pointer, and the Cougars take a 33-23 lead at halftime. Second half, Ari Jones gets the loose ball and goes in for the layup. The Orioles cut the Centennial lead to 7. The Cougars look like they're going to win this one. Wojtaszek drains another 3, and Centennial leads by 9. But the Orioles rally late. Maddie Malone bounced pass to Webb, who scores and draws the foul. Osseo's back within 1 at 48-47. Tied in the final seconds, Port misses, but Webb rebounds. She is fouled on the putback. She misses the first free throw, but hits the second one. Osseo's up by 1. And when the Cougars try to inbound, Webb deflects the pass. It comes to Maddie Malone. She's fouled with virtually no time left, makes both free throws, and Osseo wins it 54-51. In the first semifinal up at Anoka, Champlin Park faced top-seeded Roseville. Emma Schaefer taking the pass from Jacqueline Paz and scores. The Raiders dominate much of this game. Roseville working the perimeter here. Potts knocks down a 3, and Roseville's up by 22 points in the second half. Maria Sampson with a 3 for the Rebels, but they're still down by 17 points. Schaefer drives and scores. Roseville cruises into the Section 5 final with a 59-49 win. The Raiders play Osseo for the Section 5 title Friday night at 8 at Osseo. We'll have highlights from state hockey, Wayzata's first game, plus Section boys basketball Friday starting at 4.
All right, great basketball there.
Yes, it
Thanks
was.
a lot, John. Up next, an essay competition with patriotic flair.
We'll be right back. And finally, here's a question. What does the national anthem mean to you?
Some students at Brooklyn Junior High put their thoughts to paper in an essay competition presented by the Elks Club.
I think that the national anthem just represents our country's soldiers and our freedom and our liberty.
First place essay winner Yayua Yang says she was inspired by the soldiers who fought for our freedom. Yang and the second and third place finishers from Brooklyn Junior High now move on to the district competition for an ultimate shot at the state competition and a $400 top prize. And all 3 of the top finishers were from the very same class at Brooklyn Junior.
Nice.
So good writers maybe had good teachers as
Maybe some good
inspiration,
teachers
too.
there, you betcha.
That's all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Stay with us. Community Corner is coming up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow beginning at 4.